Good morning, and it is Monday, the 1st of June. So, a pinch and a punch for the first day of the month. Remember when we kind of used to say dumb shit like that back in school, back in the primary school days? Pinch and a punch for the first day of the month. Where you do a little, punch buggy, no returns every time you see a little VW Beetle. Or what else did you do? You had that little line dot electric shock. When you're sitting behind somebody on the floor, draw a line down their back, and give them a little poke in the love handle area. But yeah, it's already June, man. I can't believe that it's already June. We're already 6 months in to this year. We're already 6 months in, and it's like, I don't know about you, but I feel like this year it's kind of been a bit of a write-off. I feel this year's been a bit of a write-off. It's like I feel like I haven't done much. It's just times. The only thing that's happened is just time's gone by. Our opportunity to make some gains in the gym that's kind of gone away. Our opportunity to continue on with our career, it's kind of gone away, I guess you can say. Obviously, we've still got opportunity to grow, to learn new things, but in terms of I guess depending on what industry you were in, obviously with mine being in the fitness industry, it's kind of like we didn't really. It was hard to get that opportunity, I guess you can say. It's like I don't want to say that opportunity was taken away from us because obviously there's still things that we could have done. Your online trainers and everything like that. I'm sure they've made the most out of this situation. Um, being on Instagram and everything like that. I'm sure there's still opportunity out there. So I don't want to say that opportunity's gone, but in terms of actually working in a gym, working in a fitness facility, I guess you can say that was kind of taken away. So that's why I feel like this year's kind of been a bit of a write-off. Like I wish, next year we could just kind of like repeat this year in a way. So instead of going a year older, you turn whatever age you were going to turn this year. Uh, but yeah, it's just one of those things because it's like I always say like time is like the most important thing. Like I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste anybody else's time. But this year it's just like it's just this valuable time that's just been taken away from us. Um, and I feel like I haven't used every day wisely. I don't think, but I'm proud of myself for doing something during this time. Learning new skills. Doing this podcast. I know I keep saying I'm proud of doing this podcast, but it is the truth. So I'm proud to say that I feel like I have used some of this time to my advantage. Obviously, I'm one of those where I'm just kind of like my own worst critic, and I say I could have used some time a little bit more wisely. Um, but otherwise, I do feel like I've used a good amount of it to my advantage. Um, but yeah, like I said, I don't know why I've got that feeling, but I wish next year we could just repeat this year, because this one's a bit of a write-off. So, and obviously because I'm getting older and everything like that. So, and always as you get older, man, time just flies by a lot quicker. So, I wish I could just repeat this year, next year. Because once you hit like your 30s and everything like that, time just flies by. I know every year goes by quicker, but time legit is going faster and faster. And the crazy thing about hitting your 30s is that I remember when I was still in my late 20s, right? So when I was in my late 20s, I'd be sitting at work and obviously working in a gym and everything like that. I'd be eating like a massive like block of Toblerone, not just that little $1 ones you buy. I'm talking about the big ones, the ones that they only bring out during Christmas time. And I'm just sitting there eating it like it's nothing. And I'll be eating all this most random food and everything. And then, people at the gym would always be like, oh, you know, once you hit 30, you can't do that. Once you hit 30, you can't eat like that. You're not going to be able to lose weight. You're not going to, your body's just going to, get fatter and fatter. Your metabolism's not going to be the same. And it's like, I still eat the same stuff, man. I still eat the same stuff, you know? Like people out there, they were, once I was in my late 20s, people out there, they were just saying, once you hit 30, it's rock bottom. Once you hit 30, it's all downhill. And the thing is, when I hit 30, nothing felt different. Like honestly, nothing felt different. And I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I don't really look when I meet someone new. I don't think about their age, because a lot of the time people they're very very surprised to know my age, and I think it's because there's a lot of young people out there. I feel like there's certain ages that we look forward to. When you hit 16, like that's kind of a big milestone. You sweet 16. Then you hit 18. Then here in Australia, oh, I'm finally legal. I can get into a club without any worries. I can buy alcohol. So that's kind of like a big age. And then, you hit 21. And then that's, I don't know, for whatever reason, but that's just kind of like a big milestone. And after that, there's nothing really. So you don't really think about it anymore. All right. So, I mean, if you're younger than 21, you always kind of have a thought about people's age. Anyone older than you is like old. And, I've spoken to a lot of 19-year-olds and they're all kind of like, oh my God, I'm leaving my teens. And it's like, 19, man. 19. Like, what are you worried about? You've got your whole life ahead of you. And, yeah, it's just one of those things. So after the age of 21, I feel like, you got no massive milestones to look forward to. So then age doesn't really matter. Like, even when I was about to turn 30, like, it wasn't really a big deal. Like, all right, last year in my 20s, like, who cares? Well, I didn't care. And, yeah, a lot of the time, like, once I hit 30, people were always like, oh, it's all downhill from here. You're not going to be able to do the same, live the same. And like I said, man, there's no real difference. Obviously time goes by a lot quicker, but other than that, there's no real difference for me. Look, well, actually, I kind of lied a little bit. Like the other difference I can feel is just that, yeah, my body doesn't recover quicker. I've got a lot of more aches and pains, but at the same time, I've also had more surgeries, so I don't feel like it's hard to say if that's kind of like attributed to hitting your 30s. But other than that, it's same thing, man. Business as usual. And those people that were saying, once you hit 30, that's it. Or those people that were kind of like sad once they hit 30. I feel like that's the people that just looked back at their life and they just weren't happy with themselves. Because obviously when you're about to have a birthday and everything like that, you do that same type of reflection, right, as you did towards the end of the year. And when I was about to turn 30, I kind of sat back and looked at it, and I was just, personally, I was happy with the things that I've accomplished. Obviously, there's those little things that I always told myself, growing up. I always told myself, I'm going to have $1 million by the time I hit 30. I'm going to have my own house. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. And I didn't accomplish any of those. I don't have my own house. I'm still single. I definitely don't have close to $1 million. So I didn't have any of those things. So, obviously I couldn't tick those boxes. But at the same time, man, I could honestly say that I was proud. The fact that I've done a lot of the things that I've done, the fact that I've been through a lot of things that I've been through and still come out the other end, I was proud. I was very proud of myself. So once I hit 30, it was no big deal. It was just another birthday that I don't celebrate. And I always tell myself, like, even though, like, once I hit 30, it didn't really matter. Like, if you kind of think about things, my grandpa, my grandma, my lola, they passed away in their, early 80s, mid 80s. So if I think about that and say in terms of my family, we live till about our 80s. Obviously, with all the stuff that I've been through, I'm gonna take a good 10 years off of that. So even if I say I live till my early 70s, then it's all good. Like I've got another good 40 years in me. So a good solid 40 years of work. I've still got plenty of time to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. So I feel like that's why once I hit 30, it really wasn't a big deal. I told myself, like, I still got time. I'm not even halfway. I'm not even halfway through life. So I feel like that's why I thought hitting 30 wasn't really a big deal. And there's people that were trying to put you down once you were hitting the age of 30. That's just their own insecurities. And like I've always said before, man, misery loves company. So they're always going to try and bring you down as well. They're going to try and bring you down to where they are. So why am I talking about this? I have no idea. That's the same reason why I talk about everything, man. It's just I open my mouth, whatever comes out, comes out. But yeah, it's at the end of this all, like even though I say I want to repeat this year, next year, we still got a good amount of time. Like I said, I've still got a good 40 years in me. So I mean, like I said, let's take this as a blessing. Obviously, we're not going to take everything for granted anymore after going through all of this. And we come out of this, we're going to try and work harder. We're going to try and work harder than we've ever worked before. This podcast is still going strong. So I'm out here having fun, man. I'm having fun with my life. I'm in my 30s and I'm still having fun in my life. So, no matter how old we get, the fun will never stop. It's never too late to teach an old dog new tricks. Is that what they say? So yeah, man, I'm an old dog, but I'm still learning new tricks. But other than that, it's kind of what else is going on in the world, So the 1st of June, so officially, we've entered another stage in, the reopening. So officially, all the beauty salons and, the nail salons, they open today. So I feel like we're about to be inundated with all these girls posting their new nails on Instagram and Snapchat. So they're all going to the nail salon, and it's going to be another one of those, oh darling, you so pretty. Let me fit your nail for you. Why you don't have a boyfriend? So, and look, I don't mean to be racist, but I feel like when you do an Asian accent, if you're not Asian and you do an Asian accent and you do that Asian accent well, then it's like you're honorary Asian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're cool. You're one of us now. But if you're not Asian and you do a poor Asian accent, then it's like, you racist, bro. Don't ever do that again. Let me get my machete. Somebody hold my chopsticks. I'm about to mess this guy up. So, it's one of those things, man. You can do an accent, and if you do it well, if you're gonna do an Asian accent, just make sure you do it well. Otherwise, you just racist, and don't be doing that shit in front of us. I feel. But I think I saw something on the news today that later on this week, the Premier, New South Wales Premier Gladys, whatever her surname is going to announce a plan for when gyms reopen, dance studios, and all of that good stuff. So later on this week, I feel like we're gonna finally have a clearer understanding of when we're actually going back to work, which is cool. But look, having all this time away from the gym, I'm obviously used to not going to the gym, not used to training hard and everything, and it's like I've kind of gotten back into that feeling of when, I get into these kind of like these these feelings where I realize that there's just all this lifting weights and everything like that. There's just more to life than just constantly like going to the gym every day and trying to look good and all of that, because oh no, and I've had that feeling before. I think it was like once I did my competition, I came out of that competition like so motivated. It was like, I'm gonna compete next year. I'm just gonna put on some size, but I'm gonna do well. I'm gonna practice my posing, and I had all this motivation coming out of competition. Then obviously I spoke to my doctor and everything like that, and he was like, you do need surgery. We're going to replace this. We're going to replace your knee. We're going to replace your femur. We're going to replace your hip. And then after that, it was like, what's the point in training? What's the point in training hard? What's the point in making gains? Because I'm going to go under the knife. I'm not going to be able to lift after that because I'm just going to be doing physio. And then, I kind of had that little slump where it was just like, yeah, what's the point? What's the point? Why am I doing this? And obviously, I still did exercise and everything like that. And it was just like, I had this mindset. It was just maintenance, or even just try and put on size so that when I, have my surgery and I'm just on bed rest, I, if anything, I just go back to whatever size I was, or I don't lose too much size. Um, but then, obviously with stuff like that, it was just hard to get motivated again, and it was just, I had those feelings where it was just there really is more to life than just trying to look good, I've had a lot of time where it's just like fitness just consumed my whole life. Even years ago when I was just a trainer, and then, outside of work, I'd go out to dinner or lunch and everything, and everyone was just like, oh, what should I eat? What should I eat? How many calories is in this? And it's just like, just let me, just let me chill out and, not talk about fitness and health. Um, for just at least an hour. And it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, I'm thinking to myself like there's just more to life than just trying to look good all the time. Obviously, I'll still go to the gym, I'm a single man, I've got to keep it together. Got to find myself a nice honey. So, I'll keep my body nice and tight up until I find myself, a nice sugar pie honey bunch, a nice little PYT. And then maybe after that, I'll let myself go, be like, put a ring on that, and then keep everything together up until I find myself a sugar pie honey bunch, and then after that I'll be able to let myself go, tell her she's locked in, and then get nice and fat and everything like that. Get myself a nice little dad bod. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think I was talking about sometimes I just feel like there's more to life than just being all health and fitness and gym and everything like that. But I think that's where this podcast comes in, and I can just just be real, say whatever's on my mind, say whatever to speak from the heart. Um, but yeah, sometimes just I'm thinking I just need to be able to kind of balance my life a little bit more rather than just focusing on health and fitness. Working at a gym in my spare time, going to a gym and working out. Like, yeah, I'm just trying to find the balance in life, I guess you can say. Um, but otherwise, it's good, man. It's exciting. Like I said, I'm excited to go back. Getting back into a routine, earning an income, a solid income. Um, Maybe even finding a nice place. Like, I kind of want to find a nice little 2-bedroom place, and have one place, have one room where I can just do all this podcasting, almost like create a little studio at home, I guess you can say. So I'm excited for things like that. But yeah, look, it's just been such a long time, I guess. So I've kind of gotten used to this life, which isn't probably the greatest thing, but it's like I've said this before, but it's crazy to see how quickly something like this can become our norm. Um, I can remember like weeks ago, months ago, I was just saying, I'm struggling to find a routine, but it's just quickly how it's crazy how quickly we can just settle into this and see how quickly this all can become our norm. So when we do get back out there into the world, it's just going to be like the weirdest feeling. Like I can already imagine going to a gym and it's just seeing 5 people, seeing 10 people. Like how crazy would that? Or even imagine sitting at a restaurant and eating at a restaurant. It's just something we haven't done. Well, I personally haven't done in such a long time. So it's just going to be such a weird feeling. And I think I've said this before, but imagine going on a date. Imagine going on a date, seeing somebody in person, talking to somebody in person, sitting at a dinner table or sitting at a table with them in person. It's just going to be the weirdest feeling. Or imagine just even put your arms around someone. It's one of those things where I haven't done it in so long. So it's like this current situation just feels like the new norm. Um, so yeah, when everything does kind of go back to normal, or even if it does go back to normal, it's just going to be. I can imagine it being a strange feeling. Maybe I need to get myself like a practice date, go on one date as a practice. So when I go on a real date with someone that's actually fine as fuck, then I can make sure that I've still got my A game on. Or make sure I've got my A game on, I guess you could say. But yeah, look, I guess just crazy times in the world. Obviously we've got all those riots going on in America as well, which is I want to say it's like a distraction from the regular news. With all the about COVID. But yeah, they've got all that crazy stuff going on in America, and I've seen some of the videos about obviously what happened with the police and everything like that, and obviously there's always those new angles. I'm talking about George Floyd, obviously. Obviously, those new angles of the videos always being released, and I don't know, man. It's just when you watch that video, it's just something that will ruin your day, I guess you can say. And obviously, I'm just gonna quickly give my 2 cents of it. Yeah, when you watch that video, it's just something that will ruin your day. Obviously, there's that one video that shows that one officer that's just kind of like trying to block the people, and then you can see that one police officer kneeling on his neck. And then there's another video where you can see like three police officers, like the other two are behind the car, and they're kneeling on him as well. And it's like it's already, the guy was in handcuffs, so obviously he wasn't really going anywhere. And it's like, so to need three people to kneel on him, it's just. But even just to stand around as the other police officer and to look at that, it's just tough. It's not even as a police officer, or it's not even as a white person, as a black person, as an Asian person. It's just as a human being. It's just like, how can you watch that, or how can you even think that it's okay to just constantly kneel on someone, even to kneel on someone's throat, for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes? Because if you see, obviously, if you watch like UFC, and it's like it takes like 10 seconds to choke someone out, to have your knee and your full body weight on someone's neck for 8 minutes, it's like, as a human, like how can you think that that's okay? Even if the guy's already subdued in handcuffs on the ground, and like yelling out, or well, not yelling out, but already telling you like he can't breathe. It's like, how can you think that it's okay to continue to do that? So yeah, look, it's the riots. I feel like is needed, obviously, because you've got in such a short space of time. You've got the other case, Ahmed Arbery, I think his name was, who was basically hunted down by those two gentlemen and killed. Ahmed Arbery, who was a jogger, and he was hunted by those two guys, and basically murdered. So it's just, and even with that case, it's like even if you say you think someone's, because I think there's like a law in that state in terms of citizens arrest, but how can you, like, even if you see someone and you think they're being suspicious, it's like you hold the person, you don't shoot them, like you don't kill them yourself, you don't take the law into your own hands. Like, if you think they're being suspicious, if you think they've robbed someone, it's like, hold them, don't kill them. But yeah, it's tough to speak about. Like, as much as I try and keep this podcast like fun and lighthearted, it's stuff that needs to be said. So I feel like those riots at the moment are needed, because something does need to be changed. Obviously, I'm not saying the riots, they need to, I'm not saying, you need to go out there, hurt people, harm the police or anything like that, but just, you need to make noise so that something is changed. But yeah, that's my quick take on this current situation that's going on there. But I mean, what else is new? I guess you can say, like, how's everybody else doing out there? I hope you can all see that there's the light at the end of this lockdown tunnel. Because everything's coming back. Everything's coming back, and I I feel like I think New South Wales is basically the only state that doesn't have like gyms and everything open. I feel like they've opened everywhere else, or they've opened starting today, or they're like it's already announced when they're opening. Because I've heard Queensland was like set at a later date, like middle of this month, but I feel like that's been pushed forward now as well. But yeah, man, I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's doing well. Um, I hope everyone's staying safe, man. Staying sane. I feel like that's the most important thing, though. Out of everything, hope everyone's staying sane. Um, and just understand that, pretty soon that we're all going to get our lives back. Um, and yeah, be able to make some money, be able to kick off our careers again. But, I hope everyone's enjoying their first day of June. One of the pinch and a punch for that first day of the month. Oh, but yeah, man, people are losers, man. Imagine how weird if we kind of like heard the stuff that we were doing. Imagine like you can like go back in time and you can see your younger self. And you just remember all the little dumb things that you were doing and all the little dumb things that you were saying. Remember? We were so focused on trying to be the cool kid. Who was a nerd, who was a cool group, and it's one of those things because I remember like one of my exes, she used to call me a nerd. She was always saying, and I'm talking about we were in like our mid-20s at this point in time. She used to say I'm a nerd, and she used to say she's part of the cool group. And I mean, I guess you can say, I mean, at that point, look, it's hard to say. I guess in hindsight, everything's always 2020. So like now, when I kind of remember that, I would just love to have told her, just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And I'm not supposed to be swearing. I'm not supposed to be swearing anymore. So, but like, damn, man, it's one of those. Like, who cares about stuff like that? Who cares about stuff like that? But I mean, if there was ever I don't even know why I'm saying this, but if there was ever someone where I was just like, why did I spend so much time with that person? Like, why did I spend a year and a half, 2 years with that person? Now that I, think about everything that she was saying. But I don't even know why I'm talking about this, to be honest with you. But yeah, she was just a weirdo. She was just getting like, oh, I'm one of the cool kids. You're one of the nerds. And it's just like, shut up, you MF. I'm saying MF because I don't want to swear. But yeah, she was just one of those, and it was just, why am I saying this? I don't even know, to be honest with you. But we'll keep that X talk for another day. I know I always bring up girls and everything on here, but yeah, we'll keep that X talk for another day. But yes, so we've got some exciting things coming. Well, I've got some exciting things now. Would you think they're exciting? I'm not too sure, but if you're one of the people that have listened to all of my podcasts, man, shout out to you guys, because I don't know how you all would listen to this, because I just I just press record on the mic and just let it go, man. Just let it go, and I keep everything real and raw. And one day I might even look back at these podcasts and be like, what the hell am I saying, But even kind of like right now, I'm just kind of like rambling on. Yeah, I'm just kind of like rambling on for some reason. But, I mean, I might wrap it up there. Oh, God. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there, man. We're going to release another episode later this week. I know, last week I did Monday, Thursday. I'm going to try do Monday, Wednesday, and I'm going to try to do Monday, Wednesday. But we'll see what happens, man. I feel like, between today and tomorrow, between now and Wednesday, maybe I want to try to eat at a restaurant or something. But, I want to try to go with someone. I don't like eating by myself, man. I've got that weird thing. It's like, who goes to the movies? Damn, when are movies going to open, eh? But who goes to the movies or restaurants by themselves? That's tough, man. I do that. I've done it. Well, I haven't done the movies, but I've gone to a restaurant by myself, and it's tough. The only place I like eating by myself is like Sushi Train, because it's like you're sitting facing the sushi, so you don't look like as big of a loser. But going to a restaurant and eating by yourself, that's tough. Like, I don't know, you look like a weirdo. You look like a serial killer or something. Um, but look, like I said, I want to go, but I doubt I'm going to be able to because I got to find myself a nice honey to go with. But it's all good. We'll get there eventually. But like I said, I'm going to wrap it up. And love you all as always. Hope you're all staying safe. And thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.